Here it's Big Conversations with Tia Adeyemo. We do this monthly. It's a monthly magazine show. The next show is Saturday, November 19th. And we'll have music. We'll have more props for you. My laptop crashed at the start of this, and we could not quite finish the interview. But we're gonna stick it up on our YouTube page. You're just coming in. We love you. We thank you. How are you doing? Make sure you like and subscribe. Right now, we got our girl Giselle General. She's joining us to talk about the latest gist from the city. Hello, Giselle. How you doing, baby?
Hi, hello. And looks like we're doing okay on the tech side of things right now, T.
Yeah, no, the tech is
Good.
absolutely fine. We can't present. I'm working from off my iPad. I don't have my laptop. It gave up on me. My car also gave me problems today. So
Oh,
so it may just be a wish of bad luck, but it's always better in the morning. Okay, so let's not
absolutely.
worry. And I'm not gonna cry. But how are you though? How are things going?
It's been an adventure this past little while. I'm reevaluating my career. I resigned from my job, and I'm trying to find a balance between volunteering while job searching. I actually recommend volunteering while job searching because it helps keep your skills up, and it helps you feel productive while you are finding the next stage in your career and employment.
It's good to volunteer. Obviously, you're volunteering right here at Leeds Corner.
Hmm.
Your contribution is immensely appreciated. Why did you leave your last job?
Uh, I've been there for 8 years, which is for a young professional is a significant chunk of time. And people grow and change, and we get influenced by all of our experiences. And for me, last year, that was running for public office, and I thought it's time. I also turned 30 last year, so it's time to reevaluate, and pivot into something new and exciting.
Okay, so what has been going on in the city? You are our insider, and I know you have a lot to talk to us about.
Yeah. So basically, there's a lot of things going on. So I suppose whenever you're ready, I can just do my entire 15-minute segment spiel so that our audience will be up to date with what's going on.
Okay, I'm ready. We're all ready. But what I cannot figure out on this iPad, it doesn't come with a mouse, is how to make only you go on the screen. So I will just, you go right ahead. I will figure
Sounds
it
good.
out.
I'll jump right in, but as long as I'm somehow visible, that's all good. Okay.
Yes, it will be visible. I'm just trying to disappear.
Now it's all good. But yeah, so to the viewers and listeners and supporters of Ladies Quarter magazine, welcome again and welcome back to the Edmonton City Council segment. As T had introduced, I'm your host, Giselle General, and I have quite a few insights and valuable information to help you feel more engaged and informed about our city government. Being informed is key so you can make the impact you want to see. First off is our rapid fire segment. So here's a short summary of what's been going on with the city that I highly recommend you keep an eye on. In a 9-4 vote on October 7th, City Council approved a new funding formula that will increase the police budget by at least 7 million in 2023. So that will take the total tax supported amount to 414 million every year. There are debates among elected representatives when it comes to the actual formula, the time period it's valid for, and the timing of the decision because there are more discussions on the 4-year budget cycle coming right up. Community leagues in our city are volunteer based nonprofit organizations in every neighborhood that receive funding and support through access to land from our city. Last month was a very exciting month because on September 17th and throughout September, community leagues celebrated Community League Day through different activities and festivities. The goal is to raise awareness, recruit volunteers and members, and to have a fun gathering in the local neighborhood. Due to cracks and on the cement pillars that were discovered in the summer, the opening of the LRT line from Millwood to downtown has been delayed indefinitely while the issue is being resolved. In At the same time, the construction of the westward uh, section of the LRT from downtown to Lewis Estates is ongoing. Road closures, sidewalk, and intersection changes happen every few days along Stony Plain Road, 87th Avenue, and 156th Street. So everyone is encouraged to stay up to date and be extra careful when traveling on the west side of the city. Our city also passed a bylaw to limit the use of single use plastics in businesses such as grocery stores and restaurants, which will take effect on July 1st, 2023. This move is applauded by organizations like Waste Free Edmonton, while local businesses are cautious and monitoring the impact as much as far as their costs as business owners and customer feedback. Also, City Council voted in favor of naming a sponsorship and naming agreement with Canadian Tire for the Clearview Community Recreation Center. For 10 years, it will be named the Jumpstart Community Recreation Center in exchange of funds. This discussion sparked debate because people are a bit uncertain on whether selling advertising or naming rights to corporations on public facilities is a worthwhile endeavor. For example, a few years ago, the Edmonton Convention Center in downtown was named the Shaw Conference Center until the sponsorship agreement expired a few years ago. The next thing I want to talk about is how you can share your insight. And many of us here in the city would like to give our feedback to our elected representatives so that they can consider our viewpoint when making decisions. There are many, many ways to do this, and it's important to utilize as much of them as possible so that your voice will be heard. And tonight, I want to talk about a topic that you should share your insight about because it has long term implications. And this is the district plans. So, what is it exactly? It is a large document that the city made not too long ago. And in this plan, our entire city is divided into 15 distinct sections. And each section or a district has a cluster of neighborhoods, natural spaces, parks, roads, and major buildings where we can see and access many of the things we have in our day to day lives. This plan talks about how the land where you live and the land around you will be used in the next few decades. For example, let's say in downtown, where there's already a large volume of medium to tall apartments, limited green space, perhaps the downtown district and the people who live there, maybe they want to give uh, recommendations for a larger green space or bike lanes, or that skyscrapers should only be in certain areas. Or, for example, I live here in the district of West Edmonton, where the LRT is coming up in a few years. Perhaps people might want to suggest that there should be taller buildings along the LRT route, or more buildings that are commercial or residential combined, so that people can live and work nearby instead of going across the city. Sharing your input, you can do it very easily by going to the website engaged.edmonton.ca/district planning, where you can read about this in detail. Because this is a big deal. In the next few decades, once the city's population grows a lot more and we have a few more 100,000 people in the city, there needs to be good buildings and spaces for everyone to live comfortably. You can also contact your counselor or the city staff to share your thoughts. And as always, in future episodes, stay tuned and continue subscribing to Ladies Corner because I will share other ways on how you can share your input on different issues with the city. Next, just like in previous episodes, I want to talk about the City of Edmonton's ABCs. And as a refresher, these are agencies, boards, and commissions where people from all walks of life apply and get appointed, and they either make decisions or make recommendations to the city on different matters. I myself am a part of one through the Edmonton Transit Advisory Board, where I volunteer there because I really care about improving public transit in the city, which is a responsibility of that level of government. For today, I want to talk about the next ABC on this very long list, which is CIVIDA, formerly known as Capital Region Housing. To understand what they do, we need to understand what social housing actually is. Social housing is defined as homes like apartments and townhouses and such made available for low income people to rent at a much lower price. It's usually based on people's income. So if a senior citizen have 1200 a month from social assistance and the percentage rate is 25%, then their rate is for rent is 300, so a lot cheaper. These types of housing, because they're not technically profitable, many of the maintenance and expenses are covered by government programs and taxes. Some of these housing have extra laws that establish them and provide oversight, and that is CIVIDA. They are responsible for about 4,500 units of social housing. They have board members that meet and discuss and make decisions, just like any corporation, government, or nonprofit organization. They have 11 members in total, and two of them are appointed by the City of Edmonton. And just like in any other organization, they meet on a regular basis, usually once a month, and make decisions on how these homes will be operated, funded, and maintained. Savida, just like all of the ABCs, even the one I'm a part of, recruitment of members happens in January, where anyone can apply. Applications are similar to a job application with a resume, cover letter, reference letter, and using the City of Edmonton's online portal. So, if you're interested in joining the Civida's board of directors or any of the other ABCs, mark your calendar in January so that you remember to apply. And as always, I want to wrap up our segment with our final topic called 311 at your fingertips. As you remember, we are lucky here in Edmonton that we have many three-digit services we can contact, like 911, 211, and 811. 311 is the one that is monitored and operated by the City of Edmonton for us to file complaints on different city-related issues. 311 is a phone number. You can call it, you can submit the complaint online, and there's also an app. So in previous episodes, I talked about the types of complaints you can file, such as potholes and garbage and problem properties, late buses, and also how you make the complaint using the app. So now I'm going to talk about how do you track progress? How would you know whether the work is done or not? For the complaints that you've filed yourself, there's a section in the app called My Request where you can see a history of all the types of complaints you filed in the past. The cool thing about this is you can track your history for up to a few years back, which is really neat. And for me, because I walk around and take the bus all the time, many of the complaints I've filed are related to sidewalks and ice and snow on the sidewalks and roads, issues with buses, transit stations, and bus shelters. You can also see what other people had filed by clicking the button that says Recent. Since there are thousands of Edmontonians using the app, you will probably see reports coming in every minute. If you refresh it, there'll probably be new complaints. If you click on one of your reports, you get to see the file number, which is a long string of numbers starting with a number sign, the photo, if you submitted one, and all the information that you added before you submitted the complaint when you made it the first time. So when you open the complaint or the report, what does the green box with the text opened mean? It means that the 311 staff person has it opened and they are processing it. They will likely pass it on to the appropriate department. Let's say an electrician with EPCOR for broken lights or a professional waste management collection staff for any garbage in an inappropriate area. But if you see in your complaint a blue box with the text closed, it means that the file in the 311 database is closed as they have done what they could to pass it on to the appropriate department. This is not the greatest news, but it's important to know. A closed report in the 311 app does not necessarily mean that the issue is fixed. Sometimes a 311 staff person will actually call you to ask for more information or to give you a direct update. One time, I reported an issue with an infection in a tree called pine knot, and I received a phone call from a staff person to get more information. I also remember one time I filed a complaint because there's very dangerous sheets of ice on the road where people are about to walk to cross the street. And someone from 311 called me and said that the ice has been cleared. And when I walked there the next day, it is definitely taken care of, which is wonderful. So let's say, for example, you are in a children's playground and you reported graffiti and you saw in the app that the complaint is closed and you walked over there and it already cleaned, which is fantastic. But let's say, and this is the most common complaint, let's say you reported a pothole. And in the 311 app, it says that the file is closed. But when you went back on that road again, the pothole is still there. It means that the pothole that you reported is added in the long list of thousands of potholes that the city is working on filling in. If the issue that you reported is a bit urgent or you want someone to look into it a bit more closely, you can take a copy of your 311 app report, include the reference number, and send a copy to your city councilor so that they can escalate. And that wraps up our segment on Edmonton City Council. Again, this is Giselle General signing off, your everyday engaged Edmontonian, and I'll see you in future episodes.
Well, that was fantastic, Giselle. I want to say big thank you so much. Man, today has not been without its setback, but we got through that, and that was beautiful. I did not know that about Civitas. Is that their name, Civitas? Okay, I thought
CIVIDA,
Civida.
CIVIDA, and also a plug to our listeners and viewers. There will be an article, the script I have for this episode. It will be available on the Ladies Corner website. So if you miss it and if you want to read into more detail, like, subscribe, check out the website, and you can read about it in more detail there.
That's correct. Thank you so very much, Giselle. I should let you go. Yeah, I should let you go. It's been an evening, but before you go, let's just round up the show together. Or
Mhm.
maybe I should actually let you go because you've been waiting for this all evening. It's up to you. I just wanted to say the next show is November 19th at
Excellent.
6:30 to get people to like and subscribe. Is always that's what we get from this. And we hope to see you all next time. And everybody should keep well, keep safe. And we'll see you next time. Thank you so very much, Giselle, for the effort you put in. And thank you to our
My
listeners
pleasure.
for staying with us. What a night. That's a wrap up. And that was Big Conversations with T. See you all next time. Good night.
Yes. Have a good night. Thanks,
Thanks,
T.
Giselle. Okay.